Welcome to the Kootenay Bonsai. This is my video on making bonsai affordable and cutting the costs down on production, and well as just making it, because bonsai can get really expensive once you get into it. Um, let's start with the tools here. Chopstick, perfect for getting out the dirt out of the getting the roots all cleaned. These are some scissors I had just lying around at home. This here is my branch cutter. Now you can order branch cutters online that have a really nice concaved end to them, and they cut into the branch really nicely. But you know, they go around $30, $40 to order. So, but what I did is I found these. These are wire cutters, and you can see they have a bit of a concave there, and that seems to work pretty good for what I'm using it for now. With the bigger branches, this is just not as effective as it could be. But like I said, these were $5, so really cheap, really affordable. This here is some of the wire that I've been using. It comes from the dollar store, so maybe $1.50, and you know, it was maybe 3 times the wire when I got it here. But the bendability, the strength of it is really good. It's really easy to use. It's a nice green, dark green color. It's just gardening wire, they called it. So that was really good. And then this here is just a really fine wire that I have. Now it was around my chicken wire, my whole roll of chicken wire when I got it, and so but it really works good. It was just holding it together, and I've used it. You can see right in here I've used it, so I use it even for, you know, not very thick branches, but it works for really the finer branches that I want to wire up. So moving to the bonsais themselves. Well, actually before that, this tourney thing, I guess you call it here. You see them, all the bonsais experts seem to have one of these. But this is actually a spice rack that I got at the dollar store. So again, maybe $3 or $4 at most. And it works really, really well. So that's one way just to keep some of the tools down. There's the netting here that I have for the bottom of my bonsai pots. I had some of it just lying around, so I used it. It's pretty fine, which is good. It's pretty much what I need. Just let the water through and not the dirt. So starting with the trees here, this is a Walmart blue juniper carpet. Oh, sorry, it's not a Walmart one. I got this at the garden store, a private garden store, and it's I got it for $10, so I bargained them down a little bit. And I also got some other trees that he was throwing away to make bonsais, and I just, you know, they were really root bound. He said they were dying and they needed lots of fertilizer, but really their roots were just rotting, and so they just needed a good root clean. I'm trying to keep those alive. I have videos of those elsewhere on the site. So this is a juniper blue carpet, and one of the things I like about getting bonsais from, say, Walmart or any of the big stores like that is it's interesting. You know, they you get to pull down the dirt about this much often, so you don't really know what the root's going to look, or the trunk's going to look like when it's down. So it's always fun to kind of pull that away, and I'll do that later in the video to show you what it's like. And this is just one of the things to do is when you're getting them is to get really healthy, look for really healthy stock. So I had gotten this juniper earlier, and it had dried out. Again, it was only $5. It was on sale. And don't be afraid to bargain at those places as well. They can often cut a deal. But what happened is, you know, the branches back here, this was all green, and now it's all died off, and this is all died off. And when I bought the plant, I knew it had taken a beating a bit, and so that was just a bad decision on my part. But those are the mistakes that you learn from. And you know, when I was repotting it, I just did a horrible job. You can see tons of the roots here. Tons of the roots are just sticking out, and part of it was because it came in a pot like this, and I didn't want to cut any of the roots, so I just dug away at it, and so there's just tons and tons of roots. But junipers, their life energy is often held in the foliage. I learned that from Bonsai Ryan. His YouTube videos are just phenomenal. They're long, but they're well worth the time, and I've learned a lot just from watching him do his videos. So be sure to get healthy stock. Here is another tree I got. Again, it was $5. It was on sale, half price. I can get in on that a little better. There we go. Now I like to keep these because often I don't know the exact type of tree or whether it's a dwarf version or some other version, so I keep a pile of these, you know, so I can always identify the tree after. And this is a different kind of, this is not normally what you'd get for a bonsai, but I thought, hey, I'll just see if I can make a nice bonsai out of it. And it's really sort of flat, shooting up, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that yet. Here's one that I've repotted already. It was really bushy. I've added some blue rocks in here and some moss. Collected these at a local beach in the Slocan Lake. One of the things with these bigger rocks like this is it actually takes away from the age, what looks like the age of the tree. I mean, these would just be even just something like that, or something like this is just a huge boulder if this tree was really old. So it's kind of one of the downfalls of having bigger size rocks in there. But I kind of liked it. You know, it also kind of protects some of the top of the dirt for me. Which is kind of nice. I have these pesky Stellar's jays that come in and they'll pick away at the moss and stuff, but if it's all kind of contained, they seem to not do that now. Now this tree I really liked. It was super bushy, so lots and lots of growth on it. So really nice, and I haven't actually touched it at all. All I've done is planted it, in part because I didn't want it to die. You know, I want it to live. Now it's been in here for a bit, so I might work it later and add this to a video to see what I've done, so you can see what I've done with it in the end. And then, like I said, here's a juniper that I had gotten earlier, but I don't know if it'll make it. I'm not super happy with it, and I don't love all this stuff here. It bends backwards, and often you want the tree to kind of bend forward. Another way to keep the bonsai price down is just to collect them your own. I have a lot of videos on collecting, and I love collecting trees, but you can see the difference. I mean, this is a cedar, but the stalk is so small in comparison, and it's so young, so this will take a long time. I'll have to start next year, once the roots take and it survives. I'll have to you know, start trying to cut the branches and create ramification, create more growth into it. Same thing here is another tree I've just collected, but as you can see, it's just small, right? So it's a long-term project, but again, it keeps the price down. Now you get these into nicer pots, and they really start to look good. So don't be afraid to use them and start growing and experimenting. It doesn't have to be the perfect bonsai to get into it.